crazy. He wanna talk, but he not. Dripping is falling. Got on it in this strip to break, cause I'ma always do it how I want it up and thumbing through it. Run a like a runner do it. Stand up. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Go. If I touch it, then it's cold. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get off, go, get on, go. If I touch it, then it's cold. I'm the really damaged. I came out and make the channel froze. I'm really who the piano chose. Put my name up like a banner boat. Acting tough and I'ma let her go. Name her who got a better flow, but she can hang it up just like a telephone. Speaking up with the cost 10K to let it come see it. Hands down here, make it come treat it. Spin, make it come beat it. I want the new it in the machine out. Jewelry be cold like the temperature 0. I'm the hardest, they call me the hero. Heaven and then they know what I be on. I'm the best, I'm the best, and you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get off, go, get on, go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. I'm the best, I'm the best, and you know.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between the Arizona Cardinals and the Tennessee Titans. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. First carry for James Conner. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Murray. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 in the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays and kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Murray a give. This is Conner. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. For the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
Shotgun now from Murray. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
From the 17, Murray looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Christian Fulton. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The first drive here, the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. It gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Willis looking to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. It's caught by Hooper. And some space here. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit them with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of a game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
Haskins now on 1st and 10. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. It reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2000.
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Nick Westbrook-Akine. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember, last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he's got some space here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 32 on the play. They're good at running the screen. Sometimes it's probably taken for granted, though. You need a good deal of deception in there, don't you?
You certainly do. And you know what else you need? the people who aren't involved in the deception to make sure they hold their blocks and someone doesn't flash too quickly in the face of the quarterback.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the gun, a give to counter. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped it. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Zach Cunningham with a pick. There he goes, right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went in the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Bullet good on the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. From the 6. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 72 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Murray flips us forward on the jet sweep. A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stops short of the goal line down at the 2.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of its hands quicker.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's Roger McCreary with a pick. And the Titans are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. 13-0 is the score after 1 on E. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That was J.J. Watt getting in there and getting him to the ground.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. He'll send this up into the Nashville skyline, and it's a good one. Returning it is Moore. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Amani Hooker. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Cardinals are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this will be swung out here for counter. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. To throw again on 2nd down. Murray, quick slant to Brown. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going.
Is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run.
It's caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Zach Ertz. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Cardinals are back within a score. Extra point good by Prater, and it's now 13-7. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
17 yards on that play for the Titans. Again to Haskins up the middle. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 47 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Willis looking to throw on first down. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
This is Jeff Swaim, the tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They go play action with Willis. And brought in downfield by Burks. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Now Willis to throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Isaiah Simmons getting by the offensive line and dropping the quarterback.
There's a reason inside linebackers are often captains of a defense. They call the signals. They have the opportunity to affect the game in coverage, against the run, and, of course, on blitzes. Living in the best of both worlds here. Already has an interception. Now he gets to record a sack, too.
And the pressure gets to him again. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
3rd and goal, Willis. And it's caught. And it's a Titans touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the Titans are able to strike for 6. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the lead now stands at 13. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw taken in by Green here. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Here's Murray from midfield. Ertz over the middle. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Finding Ertz again. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 23. Give him 18 on the play.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Got him in. It's Brown. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he's got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. Looking to throw again on second down. Murray, he's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Andy Isabella from 6 yards away. And the Cards get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Prater for the extra point, and the lead will shrink to 6. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
That one caught downfield. It's Hooper. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. On first down, Willis. Going to the right here and finding Burks. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Bullock's kick is good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Throw right side complete to Carter. And he will have a Titans first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Willis now off play action. Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him. Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part. He's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off because they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away. If someone's going to be happy with that effort, you know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Murray to throw on 3rd and 1. He'll dump this one off to Connor. And he is going to lose yardage here. Calling a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. That's pulled in at the 32. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. First down, they'll stick with Haskins. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 73 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Another run for Haskins. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting unit's still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the third quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done. Two things to watch. First is strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Bullock's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Cardinals. He goes 95 yards to the house on the kick return. And the Cardinals have got it back to within a score. Extra point good by Prater. And this is back to a 5-point game. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
Well, the connection they've had has been excellent today, but not on that snap. I think he was asking just a little too much as he extended that play, hoping for one more completion with it.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Willis with it on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. This is taken at the 23. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And they will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here. Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Play fake. Murray. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Bud Dupree off the edge and getting to the quarterback. Here's Andy Lee now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This will be fielded at the 17. We have played 3 quarters. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
You got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
A quick throw complete into the flat out left. Touchdown, Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Cardinals have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. They'll look to throw. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
Fielded just outside the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Now the bad news for them, they've seen that cushion they once had totally evaporate, and they're working from behind. The good news, they now have the opportunity to regain the lead right back. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Yeah, able to elude one tackler, but only gets this back to the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Cameron Thomas buries him for a loss of 11 from his outside linebacker spot.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
He finds his man, complete. It's Phillips. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So now Randy Bullock with an important field goal try here. Bullock's kick is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And we essentially have a brand-new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Love again. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be an Arizona first down on a gain of 17. That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
Now McCoy. He finds his man, complete. It's Love. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. And he is going to lose yardage here.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Here's McCoy. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone, because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lift their chops in order to get the big hit or play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape, and that is not going to get it done. 4th down now after a loss of 2. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. He's got a man, complete. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Tannehill. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
A field goal from this spot would be 51 yards. They'll try to move it closer on 3rd down. Here's Tannehill. That's caught. It's Malone. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 12-yard line. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Throwing Tannehill. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown! Des Fitzpatrick. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans are able to move back in front. Bullock good on the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it. One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
Now McCoy. Finding his target, it's Trey McBride. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. He's back to throw. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful, because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. And some room to maneuver. And the Titans are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game. So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is, in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot. But now, it's about taking the ball away. taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.